Andy, decent week on the training ground, I take it. You're on a bit of an unbeaten run. Just tell us what things are like in the camp at the minute. Feeling confident?
Absolutely. I think the response since the Swindon performance has been good. 9 points in 5 games is breeding belief and confidence come back into the group. The numbers are increasing, which increases competition throughout the week and influences performances on a Saturday. So we've obviously looked back at the game from last week and we were far from at our best, but we got a really good point, and that could be a really valuable point come the end of the season. So yeah, going away to Tranmere, second in the table. We know it's going to be a tough test, but it's a game we are looking forward to. I know we're going to take a lot of fans, and yeah, it's the next one, so it's the biggest one.
You've taken points off the teams above you already this season, which must psychologically at least mean something to know that the ones who you're trying to catch are beatable.
I think if you look at the remaining fixtures, we're in charge of our own destiny, let's be honest. We've obviously fell behind in terms of games played, and games in hand don't count for anything. They're all just possibilities within your mind. So we are in charge of it. We're in charge of our preparation, our performance, and how we can affect the next game, which is Tranmere. We obviously know about their qualities. They are where they are on the table for a reason. They've produced it consistently now over the season. But it's up to us to go and play our game with courage, with bravery, with confidence, and if we do that, we're a match for any team in this league.
Given the tight nature of the league as well, I suppose there's nothing really to fear, is there? There's no team that you've come up against where you've thought to yourself, we've been outplayed or they've handily beaten us, because every game this season's been really competitive.
Yeah, we're obviously respectful of every single team, and every single game in this league is tough for a variety of reasons. As you say, we've got a reasonable record against the teams who are above us currently in the table. But as I say, it's about us and how our performance, both in and out of possession, and our mentality going into the game is one of being positive, and as I say, showing the courage and the bravery and the unity and the togetherness which is going to take us forward throughout the season.
Getting those players back, I'm thinking more particularly the more experienced ones like your Jamie Proctors and people like that. How much of a help is that, not just on the pitch on a match day, but when it comes to the competitiveness of training and the atmosphere in the dressing room too?
I think if you look back up throughout the season, when we were having that real consistency in terms of results, every single player was on the training pitch, which produced levels of competitiveness every single day, which drove up performances on a Saturday. It's no coincidence. So thankfully for us, we are now getting back to that stage. Obviously a couple still unfortunately out with injury, but the more players we have on the training pitch, the better. And we've got some really experienced players within the group who've been through the mill, know the highs and lows of this game, know about how to try and keep a consistency amongst themselves, and they can influence the younger element of the dressing room. So yeah, those guys are invaluable, and it was great to see Proc back out on the pitch last week. He had a magnificent start to the season, was a really impressive form, and if we can keep him fit throughout the rest of the season, that'll be a big positive for us.
You talk about the players being through it, you've done it as well. You've played hundreds of games now, you've been an assistant manager and such, so you'll have a good idea of what's required at this stage of the season when you get to the last 10-15 games or so, of the mentality, but also, like you say, the levels that are needed. So from your own personal experience, where are this squad up to in terms of that?
I think we've shown a consistency throughout the season. We had the one game where we've been beaten by more than one goal. So we've shown a level of consistency throughout the season so far, and we just have to maintain that. We have to maintain the standards. There's obviously areas of the game we're always looking to improve on, both in and out of possession, but maintaining that level, not getting too high when you win a game, not getting too low when you don't. The fixtures come thick and fast now, obviously for the remainder of the season, with us having the most games to play. So having that mentality that it's the next challenge is one which is going to hopefully lead to success throughout the season.
And just a quick word on some of the newer players who came in January as well. There's always that little bit of integration and bedding in period. Yeah. In your opinion now, has that kind of happened, and are they all up and running as to where you want them to be?
As you say, it was a busy window. We had to react to certain things which were happening in terms of injuries, obviously. There was a massive turnover of players in the summer. There was a bigger than expected transition in January as well. So that takes time. You know, they are people. They have to get to know each other. They have to get to know each other within the dressing room, as well as out on the pitch. So the more time that they spend with each other as people, the more time they spend out on the pitch, getting to know each other's qualities, the better team we will become.
And as I say, off the pitch as well, is this group now kind of nurtured in the way I know the managers often talks about how close they are now? Yeah. Are you really seeing that, as we say, as we get to that business end of the season now? Is that proving to be a real strength?
There's not one person within our dressing room who I think doesn't deserve to be there. From a personality point of view, every single one of those players is giving this club, these supporters, everything they've got, and that is an absolute guarantee, and that will certainly be the case on Saturday.